What's going on, guys? My name is Keegan Hanks. I'm a personal trainer over the last 10 years, and I've seen a lot of mistakes in the gym. My last video was talking about the top 5 mistakes that I see people commit in the gym on a regular basis. And one of those I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into today, and it's doing cardio-based weight sessions. Cardio-based weight sessions are like Barry's Boot Camp, Orange Theory, some CrossFit workouts. These are all things where your body is both taxed strength-wise and cardiovascularly, which can be a recipe for disaster. The two basic building blocks that we want to use for a longevity-based training program is cardiovascular training and strength training. These are two integral parts of the things that we need to develop within ourselves to live the best, longest, healthiest life that we can. Now, most people would probably assume that why not just put them together? You get the best of both worlds with half the time. Now, that is a good thought, but it's not going to give you the intended outcome that you would like. And you're not going to be getting as much benefit from cardio or from the strength training if you put them together into one singular session. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do 20 minutes of cardio followed by 20 minutes of strength training. I'm more speaking about doing a cardio-based exercise followed directly by a strength-based exercise and supersetting them and building a big circuit around it, similar group classes in a gym. Now, I don't want to discourage you from going to those classes, because if that's something that gets you up and gets you excited about showing up and doing movement, having a good time, then that is way better than not doing anything. It's better to show up for you than to not show up at all. So if that's the style of training that you enjoy doing and that's gets you excited to show up to the gym, keep doing that. Turn this video off and don't listen to me. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about why weights and cardio are two different things that we need to separate as best as possible in order to get the most benefit out of either of these training modalities. If you want to learn the best ways to live the longest, healthiest life that you can, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll keep you up to date on everything that I learn and everything that I do with my clients on a regular basis to get them to live the best life that they can. So I've done a previous video that talks a lot about why muscle is so important in a longevity-based training program. So I'll link that up here in the card. For the too long didn't read, it's really important because it helps create a buffer for our body to lose muscle as we age in a natural process called sarcopenia, but it also provides a lot of resiliency within our body to falls, to breaks, to metabolic dysfunction that we need to start preparing ourselves for as we age. And for cardio, again, I have another video talking about why cardio is so important for longevity-based training, and I, again, will link that up in a card up here. The too long didn't read is cardio is really important because we need heart health. Heart disease is one of the major killers in America and worldwide, and preparing ourselves and guarding against that through cardiovascular training of Zone 2 and VO2 max style trainings, we can build that buffer and really protect ourselves against the heart disease and metabolic dysfunction that is almost a guaranteed as we age. Like I said, it makes a lot of sense to try and pair these two together and get the best of both worlds at the same time. But it's just not giving you the value that you think you're getting out of the time commitment that you're putting toward. The way I like to explain it to a lot of my clients is thinking about any product that promises to do 5 in 1. So it has 5 different actions all in this one product. Now, in theory, this is amazing, but when we actually start to use it, we realize that it doesn't do anything all that well. It does do the things it says it does, but it's not going to usually be the best experience for you to use or be the best overall outcome. That's the same thing with doing cardio and weight training all at the same time. They are counteracting each other. One, you need to have a lot of focus for. Strength training, you need to be very, very focused in order to keep it safe for yourself. Cardio, you can be a little bit more in the clouds, not really super focused on what you're doing in order to achieve it. The other thing is weight training is building muscle and it's building strength. Cardio, not building muscle, not building strength. Cardio is actually muscle wasting, and if we do too much cardio, too much endurance, that's why long distance runners are very skinny and very lean, because muscle is not conducive to running very far. That's not to say that you can't be muscular and run a lot as well. It's just they're not usually conducive to each other. You will start to lose a lot of weight if you run a lot, and you will start to gain a lot more muscle if you lift more. Now, depending on where you are and what you're trying to achieve, you want to put a little bit more emphasis or more time towards strength training or towards cardio. That's okay, but we do want to still break that up. And that's not to say that you can't, if you only have 40 minutes to work out, you can't do 20 minutes of cardio and 20 minutes of strength training. You just don't want to pair two different style exercises back to back and do them without any rest. Now, ideally, if you were to only have 40 minutes in a day, you would do 40 minutes of strength training and then the next day do 40 minutes of cardiovascular training. That way you have enough time to actually get enough strength training and to get enough cardio specific work in a singular day to actually elicit the changes that you want. For me, I like to commit an hour to an hour and a half of exercise each day, and that's going to be broken up between mobility, cardiovascular training, strength training, and balance. So my typical daily session is going to be like 20 to 30 minutes of mobility, then about an hour to 45 minutes of strength. Or if I'm doing a cardio-based day, it'll be 20 minutes of mobility, and then I'll do at least an hour of zone 2 cardio or VO2 max style cardio mixed in with that. But for me, I am always separating out these two different training sessions just because I need so much more cardio than most people do because I am rather fit. It would just take too much out of my day to both fit in a strength training session and a cardiovascular training session all within the same day. When we do a lot of high intensity cardiovascular work followed by strength training exercise, we increase our risk of injury. That is because we become less able to focus on the specific exercise we're doing. We're trying to catch our breath. We're just so fatigued. Our brain is somewhere else. When we are lifting, we want to be able to push our body and lift weights that would be challenging for us in our freshest state. That's why, generally speaking, we want 1 to maximum 3-minute rest in between strength training sets so that we can fully recover and really push ourselves in that specific exercise with a heavy enough weight to where we elicit a near failure in that exercise. If we're tiring ourselves out and not giving ourselves proper rest before we do a strength exercise, we're not going to be able to use as much weight. We're not going to be able to push ourselves as far or as close to actual muscular failure because the rest of our body is going to be so fatigued. And when we are longevity focused, staying healthy, staying injury free is the name of the game. If we get injured as we age, the time required to recover and get back into the gym can drastically decrease our fitness, and it can become that much more difficult to get back to that baseline that you were pre-injury, and then trying to maintain that afterwards becomes even more challenging. It's not something that's impossible, but we want to try and make this the easiest, most streamlined way as possible. So when we can stay healthy, we can continue to be in the gym and be consistent with it, we're going to have the best long-term outcomes. The training style that I find works best with my clients is being conservative with a little bit of a push on a regular basis. We want to make good decisions on how to stay healthy long term while continually trying to push the weights and push ourselves. And ultimately, that is the name of the game when we're training for longevity. Being consistent in the gym, showing up for us, and staying healthy is the best way for us to be able to live the longest, best life for ourselves. So I hope you understand now why doing weight-based cardio sessions is not ideal for your health, but it is maybe ideal if you are sport specific or if it's something that you just really, really love doing. Then go out there and do it. If not, split them up as best you can. Try to separate out doing cardio and doing weights, and you'll get the best of both worlds. And I hope you guys like this. Share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.